Hello, my name is Dante Renee, and welcome to the 10 Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more. Like tonight's film, 1981's Velvet High. Okay, can you see that? Velvet High, there it is, 1981's Velvet High. Yes, I'm blocking some things here, as you can see. And this is the back of the DVD here. Okay, Velvet High, Velvet High. This is put out by Gourmet Video. Now, actually, the cover that you're seeing there is not the official cover for Velvet High 1981. As a matter of fact, the girl that's in the cover of this is not even in the film, as far as I can see. Gourmet Video puts it out. Do yourself a favor and Google the actual poster for Velvet High 1981. It is absolutely just unbelievable. I mean, this is a great cover too, but a totally different, totally different vibe than the original poster art, and you'll be quite impressed with the original poster art as well. But here's the cover, still a wild cover, one of the wildest covers I've seen. Here it is, Velvet High, folks, blocking stuff for you. Velvet High is an X-rated film, early 80s, has whenever you have something from the early 80s, you have that crossover feel from the late 70s into the early 80s. And this is a film that really embarks upon female sexuality. The lead character, supposedly this was her first film. Misty Reagan is her name, and supposedly this was introducing her. And she is she is someone who is sexually active, but she feels alone sexually in the world because of the myths, the stories of, the lack of concern of female orgasm. So in many regards, this is a film that embarks on the journey of female sexuality from way back in the day, when females were ignored, their orgasms were ignored. And in this particular film, we follow the character of Misty Reagan through the story as she is both alone and also seeking to reach that female orgasm and climax. Velvet High is a unique beast because it melds the genres of teen sex comedy, cheerleader exploitation film, a little bit of cowboy in there as well. We also have a coming of age film. And we also, of course, have the X-rated genre, mixing those things together. And I will really say this is a film that has a lot of emotion. It has a lot of heart. And it's a film that definitely, the solid core of this film is a coming-of-age film in many regards. That coming of age is not so much really based upon age as much as it's based upon a sexual awakening of sorts and reaching a goal. With one's own body and in one's own life. So that's exactly what Velvet High is looking at here. And when you look at that title, the lead character's name is actually Velvet. All right, so let's get into this film here, folks. First and foremost, I want to talk about the music for this film. The music for Velvet High is freaking spectacular. It's spectacular, okay? That's all I got to say. We have a soundtrack filled with hard rock, heavy metal, classic rock, very dramatic, almost 70s soap opera orchestration, some dark atmospherics at times. This is a film that is wall-to-wall music. As I like to say in this channel, when that applies, Velvet High is wall-to-wall music. There is so much music in this film, and the music really gives it a vibe that you're not even watching. In your head, the stereotypical kind of adult film, that you're watching this wild, kind of teen-sploitation, 70s, early 80s, reckless, wild, free-for-all party film. And that's the kind of vibe it has. But the music is syncopated and moves throughout the film and throughout the sex scenes in such a unique way, bringing this awesome confliction of feelings and emotions and energy, and it just gives you this crazy experience. There are times, I mean, the music is so schizophrenic in a great way. One scene is hard rock, heavy metal guitar solos. The next scene is beautiful dramatic orchestration score. It's wild. There's a song in the film at a bar scene that is a famous classic rock song, and I'm blanking on the title of it, but I know they probably, I don't know if they got the rights to that song. It's probably pretty expensive, but maybe not in 1981, I don't know. But so much music in this movie, and that, like I said, the music really provides the energy, the vibe, the wildness. The music gives you a real kind of party film vibe. But that conflicts at times with this kind of serious coming of age story for the lead character. Now, when we look at the cinematography and the style for this film, we do have one really weird fade in this one two girl, one guy sex scene, which was it was a really random, weird fate. But we have really great cinematography in terms of these these distant shots, and then shots of characters' faces during sex scenes and in the bodies. And while this is an X-rated film and the sex is not simulated, it's real. It's not as gynecological as typical porno films. And that is something very interesting also and unique. We also have a shower scene in this film with the lead character done in slow motion, with beautiful dramatic orchestration that you would never typically see in an X-rated movie. That's something you would see in a softcore film. It could be a teen sex comedy. It could be a sex, just a softcore sexploitation film. But in this film, you have it. It's almost beautiful. There's even a sex scene at the end of the film, at the twist. There's a bit of a twist ending to the film that has some heart. It has some emotion between the two characters, even before, they get down to business. There's some heart. There's some emotion in this film as well. We have a lot of, different sex scenes in the film. We have mostly, heterosexual, one guy, one girl. We have two girls, one guy, which is the wildest scene in the whole film. It has a cowboy vibe, and there's a horse just walking around behind them the whole time. We also have two girls, beautiful fireplace, but it's predominantly one guy, one girl, and just some wild stuff. And I got to tell you this too: there's this really weird vibe in this film of a paradox between innocence and, of course, real, sexual, explicit stuff. So it's that conflict, even as the music conflicts with the story and the imagery. It's that conflict that really makes for a unique viewing experience for Velvet High. Because when the film starts, it almost feels like you're watching a teen sex comedy from the late 70s. Like a lot of the ones that I review on this YouTube page. And then all of a sudden comes a sex scene. And the sex scene is just... The sex scenes are filled with the most dirty talk ever. The most amazing dirty talk. The most amazing... dirty talk, predominantly coming from our lead, Misty Reagan, in the film, known as Velvet. If you're a fan of dirty talk, you're going to absolutely love Velvet High. But in between the sex scenes, we have a lot of dialogue. We have a lot of interesting kind of some breath, some breathing in between those sex scenes. And it makes for a very unique viewing experience. And in that breath, there's a bit of innocence. There's a bit of emotion. There's a bit of heart. There's humor. There's this very funny gas station attendant who we revisit throughout the film, because it seems to be the only gas station that people get their gas at, or that Velvet gets her gas at. And of course, you have some very funny, vulgar, dialogue in the film as well, and some pretty cool characters in the film. And like I said before, my favorite scene, and probably the wildest, was this cowboy themed scene. One cowboy and two girls and one cowboy hat. And a horse walking around in the background, and a beautiful lake with some distant shots of the trees. I was looking at the trees in this film. They looked like deciduous trees. They looked like it was fall. This did not look like a California movie at all. So I'm definitely guessing East Coast for Velvet High. If I could find out any more information, if you know any more information, please feel free to put it down below in the comments. Velvet High is a really unique X-rated experience. it's low budget. It has that low budget, awesome space that I talk about a lot, where it's like that space between dialogue, that space, when characters aren't even talking. There was a bar that seemed to be in somebody's basement. You could see the steps up there. The cheer practice happened. It looked like on somebody's backyard of their house. That was supposed to be the school. You never really saw the school. It's a really homegrown, but then you also had this like really magnificent mansion in the film that was Velvet's home. She comes from some money. And there's some interesting, you never see your parents, but you just hear them for one quick second, and the rebellious, wild party of the energy of the film. It's not like there's partying in the film, it's the party energy of the film that predominantly comes from the music of Velvet High, but in what she says to her parents, like something to the effect of, "Oh, I'm always home late." That's Velvet, and there's this amazing scene, a sex scene where we have this girl says, "Oh, you want to ride his cock or something like that," and the girl says, "I guess." There is wild, dirty talk in this film, really wild. I mean, the sex scenes have the wildest talk ever, right? The sex, crazy, vulgar sex talk ever. But in between those scenes, we have a lot of heart and emotion and an interesting coming of age story and some teen sex comedy mixed in and just some low budget goodness. This is Velvet High. What a paradox of sorts, which makes for a very unique watching experience. Let me cover this up one last time here. There it is, Velvet High, folks. It's a wild cover gourmet video. I actually got this from Adult DVD Empire. Very rare film, and it actually looks like a DVD-R from Gourmet Video at filmco.com. And it looks like it was taken from a VHS tape, which was taken from a ratty 35 millimeter reel. So it's pretty dark. The colors are getting crazy. It looks like there's some vinegar syndrome going on in there and stuff, but really makes for a great watching experience, to kind of have that all together. So this is Velvet High 1981. Thank you so much for watching the Ted Room Bizarro YouTube page, where I talk about films that I believe need to be talked about more, like 1981's Velvet High. Thank you so much, and good night.